Ms. Sousis, you have dragged the defendant into court today because you say it's his mother's fault he's denying your 10-month-old daughter, Aleliana. You claim when the DNA results prove he is the father, you want the defendant's name added to her birth certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Payne, you and your mother say the plaintiff's sneaky behavior during your on and off 3-year relationship has led you both to believe she is a liar. You say you need the DNA results or you're not signing anything.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Sousis, why has this relationship been on and off for 3 years?
Cause he's just so jealous and insecure about himself. Like, everywhere I go, he think I'm doing something. If I go to the store, I gotta be back in a certain time. Like, he's just crazy.
Your Honor, she lying. She been out there, Facebook messages.
You guys, they're both jealous. They're both jealous.
Of course I'm
it.
jealous. You were my
She
boyfriend
doing
for like almost 3 years.
And why would I be
You guys
jealous?
do the
She was
same
my
thing
girl.
to each
All
other.
right?
How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
I'm 20.
All right, there we go. You all engaging in adult activities, but you're still acting like kids, right? So you say, Mr. Payne, she's sneaky.
Yeah.
And that's what leads you to doubt paternity.
The first day after we started talking, she went to the movies with some other guy, Facebook messages telling her ex she love him. She love him, this, and that.
But the next day you did something with another girl and you was just telling your ex you loved her, so what's the difference?
You lying. You lying in court.
I don't need to lie.
So,
crazy.
Ms. Sousis, you did contact your ex?
Yeah, I said I cared for him. I never said I loved him. He told his ex he loved her, and I did go to the movies with a boy, okay?
For 9 hours. What movie is 9 hours?
And you all were in a relationship on and off for 3 years.
Yes.
What happened when you told him you were pregnant?
He was happy for a minute, and then, I don't know, I guess there we go with the DNA test stuff, so.
What was your response, Mr. Payne?
I was happy and shocked at the same time, because I felt like it happened fast, because we had just got back together.
Yes.
How soon after you got back together did...
2 weeks.
It seemed like right away. It seemed like that's the only reason why I question it, because the first time she was pregnant twice. The first time she got pregnant, I knew without a doubt it was his because she didn't go anywhere. I couldn't get rid of her. This time they kept breaking up. They break up so much, and they were broken up. I think y'all were broken up for about a month or something like that. They got back together, and she got pregnant.
Yes, we had sex, and then like a month later, I was pregnant for that month.
But instantly, when she said she was pregnant, I told her from the beginning, just because y'all broke up like that I wanted a DNA test. I did tell you from the beginning.
But I'm not gonna put no baby on somebody I don't know that's
I understand that, but it's just that, you know, they broke up, and then it really did seem like it just happened right away. Like, you know, I'm like, it hasn't even been a month.
We did have sex without a condom, so it probably did happen right away.
So you're saying 2 weeks after getting back together, you take this test, and it's positive?
Yes.
And so you said we're not doing anything till we get a DNA test?
Not about, I said, me personally, I wanted a DNA test to make sure that it was his.
All right.
And I told him that he should get a DNA test because they both do things to each other. It seems like they go tit for tat. Oh, you talking to a guy, I'm gonna go talk to this girl. You're talking to a girl, I'm gonna go talk to this guy. They do this.
Yes, I did it, yeah. I'm not innocent.
This is
but
what
I'm not
they
gonna
do.
put no baby on something that's not yours.
Neither. I'm not innocent either.
I want to ask you to be
there
there through a pregnancy if it's not your child.
But I was there through the pregnancy.
But you really weren't.
But I wasn't though.
How?
Because you wanted to stay away.
How? Yes, I did.
So what happened during the pregnancy?
There was a time when someone came up to me in a supermarket, and Ms. Sousis and Mr. Payne, my son knows about this. A lady comes up to me and she goes, yeah, well, you're right to want a DNA test because she moves around. This lady, she knows. I came home and told him, and he told her.
Everybody got something to say about
Right, but I don't know this lady. You understand? So it's weird for someone to just come up to me out the blue. First of all, I'm like, how does she know about me wanting a DNA test? You understand what I'm saying? Second of all, like, who are you? I don't know the lady.
And so someone out the blue just says, they make a comment about
I guess they were like,
somebody always got something to say about me.
All right, and so when the baby was born, what happened?
He was there. He is signed birth certificate. Obviously, we're here now. And he was there for like 2 months, and then he just disappeared.
No, I did not. She didn't want to be around me.
We live in the same complex, so it's kind of hard to disappear.
Ms. Sousis, what are you feeling right now? You're so angry, I can see it. What's upsetting you the most? Take your time.
I've been doing this for so long by myself. It's like, I'm just fed up.
She didn't have to be alone. She chose to.
Yup,
that was on her.
who was there for me?
She chose to. Me?
Okay.
Wait. Mr. Payne says you didn't have to be alone. Why did you choose to do this by yourself?
Because I've been independent for so long, for so many years by myself. I was used to it, so it was like...
Did you want him to be there and help you?
Yes, I did.
I'm confused as to why you didn't allow him to help you.
I did. We just argued too much, which was too much for around my daughter, and I didn't want that all around her, so.
Okay.
There was a time when Miss Sousis was like, we're really close. We used to be really close. So she was always around me. If she needed me, I was there. It's the back and forth between them, the breaking up, the doing things to hurt each other. I just don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad that she's alone. I let her know that if the paternity test come up that this is ours, I'm gonna be there. She won't be by herself, but I told her when she got pregnant and you told me, I told you. I said, this is something you're gonna do by yourself. You realize that.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because I told you I was a teenage mother too, and they don't stick around.
Yes.
But
I'm just
together
mad
they
that
no
even if it is his, like, it took you guys 10 months just to do this, like.
You kept her away, though.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Don't do that.
But that,
How did I keep her away?
He is there, and he does.
But how did I keep her away?
You said you told him that I didn't do nothing at all. Got it.
You disappeared.
Not even
You
knowing.
come in and out
How
her
did I
life.
disappear if you
come
just
in and out
told her
her
you did not
life,
want me around
I
you?
did.
You're not making no sense.
All right,
Let's get some order. Let's get some order.
Right.
Why so much anger? What is going on between the two of you?
Because they love each other.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. What type of relationship does Leliana have with Mr. Payne and his mom?
She just cries, like, she don't even know them. Like, that's what type of relationship she has with them.
And so for the past 10 months, you've been raising her on your own?
Not on my own. Like, yeah, he comes in and, like I said, he comes in and out. I don't like that. If you're gonna stay out, stay out. If you're gonna come in, come in. Like, if she knows you're a dad, stay in. Like,
if I ask you if you need help and you want me to be there and you tell me no, what more can I do?
all right, but when I ask you,
to help you out
for
because you
stuff,
don't
it's
wanna,
always a problem. though.
How is it a problem? How is it a problem?
Get
When
her
you just
formula.
asked me,
It's a problem.
and what did I do?
Right?
And what did I
You
do?
got her diapers.
When you just and what did I do?
Right?
What did I? When you just asked, what did I do?
What did you do?
What did I do?
What did you do?
You said you
It
needed
took
a
you that
stroller. You
long.
ain't even put the stroller up.
Okay.
Because it's
I'm not
blue.
putting my
Because the
All right.
my
blue.
daughter no
You
blue
should have told me
stroller.
that, and I would have replaced it.
So now we're fighting over the color of the stroller?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
This is problematic. This really is sad.
It's heated because
It is
we all...
sad.
No, because I mean, really, I kind of let the argument go for a minute because I want to try to understand what you're arguing about. I mean, what is it? But it's very superficial. It's just, I don't know, it's just madness. Really, it is. I'm doing this by myself. I'm angry because I'm doing this by myself. Okay, well, I'll try to be here. Well, no, I don't want you to be here. Well, what did I do? I didn't do, why haven't you been able to have a conversation? This child is 10 months old. Why
I want
is
to
it-
keep her away, but it takes you this long just to step up as a father. That's crazy.
So what you're feeling, and that's why I asked you what you were feeling, because sometimes we have to be honest about where we are and what we feel so we can figure out how to or where to go. Are you hurt because the relationship did not work out?
No, I don't care about that.
You don't care about
No.
the relationship?
I just want him to be a father. I'm more hurt about her and him. They don't have a relationship. So.
Mr. Payne, you say you stepped up somewhat, but you say she also pushes you away.
She a good mom. I can't take that away from her. But
very good mom.
But at the end of the day, she did sometimes. Sometimes I do stay away from her a little because what could I do? She don't want to.
Is it because she doesn't want you around, or is it because you have doubt?
The way we.
Yes,
both.
either every other week or every other month it's his and it's not his. Oh, come
I'm
get your
saying-
baby. It's
Then-
the same. It's repeated.
The cycle keeps continuing. I want to understand specifically, what are your doubts?
It's just cause of the beginning. Like we was both doing us before we got back together. I know how she moved. She know how.
So
I
you
move.
were broken up or on a break?
Yeah.
Or broken up.
And then we got back
she was
together.
dating other people. You were dating
I wasn't
other
dating
people.
I
nobody.
can't say she was dating anybody, but I know we was both.
Do
moving
you
around.
know or have proof that she actually had sex with someone else? You
I
don't.
seen her at a party with a dude, and that was the last. That was a couple weeks before we got back together. That's the last thing I could say.
During the breakup, were you having sex during the breakup?
No, we don't talk to each other until we decide we miss each other. Then that's it. Then that's when we have sex.
And that's around the time we missed each other and we had sex and I got pregnant.
Miss Sousis, when you were broken up,
Yes.
did you date anybody else
No.
at all? You didn't?
No. Yeah, I've talked to boys, of course. What female doesn't?
You talked to them, but you weren't sleeping with
No,
them.
I wasn't sleeping with nobody. That's
Excuse
why.
me, Your Honor, there was another situation, I think I told you too, Lacey. A lady, her daughter goes to school pretty much with Lacey, and she was saying, oh, she talks to this guy and this girl and this guy. Like, just everybody, everyone, no one has
Everybody
anything.
gonna say anything they
Right,
want.
but no one has anything good to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know how that goes, but you understand that's my doubt.
So wait, someone approaches you at the rec center?
Yes.
It's always something bad at me. I'm a hoe. I'm this. I'm that. But does anybody really know me? No. But when I confront people, nobody got nothing to say. So it's like.
Is there anything in your past that would warrant them spreading these rumors about you? There is. Okay, so that's what we're here to do, is tell the truth.
Yep.
But then when you met Mr. Payne, those things changed?
Yes.
And so when people speak negatively about you, that's what they're probably referring to.
Is my past.
And you're saying that that is not who I am now.
Yes.
Okay. In your court papers, you say that he's not on Aleliana's birth certificate.
Yes, that's another reason why I didn't let him take her as much.
I told him if you have any doubts, don't sign it if you have any doubts. Get the DNA test first, like y'all doing now.
And I had a
Then you
doubt,
sign
and
it.
it's sad that it took 10 months
It's sad, yes. It
for
is
it to
sad.
happen, but at least it can happen today. And if it is my child, I'm gonna step up all the way.
Good.
All the way.
100%. You
All
don't
the
gotta
way.
say good, because
All
I
the
know
way.
what I'm gonna do.
All the way.
So he's not on the birth certificate.
No.
And that upset you as well.
Yep.
And explain.
If he would have signed a birth certificate, he could have been had his daughter every day. He could have took her anywhere he want. So.
But because he didn't sign it, you felt like he rejected her.
I just felt like I had to hit them up first. Like,
Yeah.
Or like all the time. Or every time you
I'll
go-
hit her up and she don't respond.
Every time
what do you want me to
every time you
do?
saw my daughter was off
I
the
have to
trip
wait
with
for
me.
you.
It was off the trip
I have
with me.
to
I
wait
have
for
a
you.
job.
Me coming to
If
get
you're
it.
not gonna respond to me, why am I gonna hit you up, Lacey?
When do you hit me up?
Are you crazy? Come on.
So-
now you playing around when you know. If you're mad at him, you're mad at me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You've always
He
been
does
that way.
that. No, I
You've
don't.
always
No,
been
I
that
don't.
way.
No, I have not.
Him too,
He'll
though.
be like, oh, he'll tell you can't see the baby, da. The last argument we had at your house, I told you specifically myself. You come see your
and
granddaughter
never,
whenever you
and
want.
then after that, I never heard from you again.
Because I felt alone. Like y'all, neither
Okay,
y'all
but
you
did.
if
feel alone?
she
Yo.
doesn't make sense. If I hit her up, she don't respond. So
It was times where I was arguing
I had
with
to
her,
show
and
him.
she won't talk to me. I tell her to call her to get the baby. No answer.
no,
response.
and I don't like to get in the middle of it.
So
You'll
listen,
come
it
out
could be
in
in
and
the
out
middle
her
of it.
life. You think you're gonna just leave for 2 months and then come
How
back
am
and
I
get your
coming
daughter?
in and out of
what
her life?
mother is gonna
If
give
you- I
their
just
baby
need- I just
father
need the
their
results.
daughter?
Let's talk one at a time. Young
You really
people,
do.
young people, young people, young people. You all just, you know so little about life and you have so much responsibility. It's obvious that you all have a lot of unfinished business and a lot of love between the two of you, and it's puppy love. So it's new, because you all are young. You know, and when I look at them, I think about, like, remember when you're like in 3rd grade, Jerome, and the boy that always the meanest to you, that's the one that likes you.
Absolutely.
You know, and they just, ooh, boy, they just worry your nerves all day. You all have that dynamic.
Yep.
And it's not that you're mean to her, Mr. Payne. It's not that. It's just you all have that puppy love. You can't describe it. You don't understand it. You don't know how to process it. But the problem is you are having sex unprotected and making children. And now she's in the center of this immature love you experiencing.
Yeah.
And it's a problem because you gotta grow up. Now I have the results for you, Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Sousis versus Payne, when it comes to 10-month-old Aleliana Sousis Payne, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Payne, you are the father.
Thank you.
I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Now I can be happy. All right.
I'm happy to see that smile. I think this is the first time both of you have smiled today. Right? Right? So, good. We've gotten to happy. Now we have to get to healthy. Right? Right? And you even look emotional, Mr. Payne.
He is. He's gonna cry.
And you know what? That's okay. I always say there's nothing wrong with shedding a tear over a child.
That's right.
She's a beautiful little girl. How do you feel in this moment as a
I
new?
just want to say sorry to her.
Go ahead.
For denying it and with the stuff that I put her through.
Let me give you, I think that was well said.
Your apology is accepted.
Aw.
Now that's a start, right? Mr. Mitchell, you are petitioning the court for 2 DNA tests to determine if you are the father of your estranged wife's 2 children, 2-year-old Deshaun Jr. and 1-year-old Bishop. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You currently have custody of the 2 boys, so the stakes of today's results couldn't be higher.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Dalton, you admit you cheated on your husband, and today you're here hoping to salvage what's left of your marriage. Is
Yes,
that
Your
correct? Mr. Mitchell, so you have custody. Today's results obviously mean a lot to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Over the past few months, Ms. Dalton has put me and my kids through a lot, Your Honor. You know, she done left, and between the last 7, 8, 9 months, you know, she done made us struggle. She done walked out on us, Your Honor. So what I'm trying to do right now, Your Honor, is excuse me, Your Honor, because I get very emotional when it comes to talking about my kids and talking to my kids, because
That's understandable.
how she abandoned us, Your Honor. Like I said, she done put us through hell and back. She just don't care, Your Honor. So I just want to know the paternity of my kids just for my sake, Your Honor, because
And it hurts you because you truly don't know.
I really don't, Your Honor. And like I said, she's running back and forth and she's cheating and this and that, Your Honor. If she wants a divorce, Your Honor, I got these divorce papers. We could go ahead and divorce it and keep it moving. She could keep it moving. I could keep it moving and continue to go with my kids, Your Honor, like I've been doing the last 8 or 9 months, Your Honor.
And Mr. Mitchell, you say your family is destroyed because you're saying she's in and out of the home, and you have the boys.
Yes, Your Honor. What she did is she left with another man. She just came home one day, Your Honor, and just said, you know, here go your kids. Take the kids, take the food stamp card, and just walked out and
Your
just
Honor,
left.
that's not what happened.
And so
That's not how it
when she walks out, she leaves you with these 2 children, and you don't even know if you're their biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
So you say that isn't true, Ms.
No,
Dalton?
Your Honor, it's not true. In the beginning, me and Deshaun, like, we weren't really, like, serious when we had our first son. I did cheat on him in the beginning.
It's okay. Go ahead and explain.
Your Honor, what
He
it
went
is.
away for some time. And like I said, from the beginning, I've been doing everything by myself. He wasn't working. There was constant, like I worked 2 jobs in the beginning when I was pregnant with my first son. I worked 2 jobs to make sure that the household was taken care of. He didn't work, he gambled. You know, he
Your Honor,
didn't
but-
do anything
Your Honor,
that he was supposed to do
Your
as
Honor, I made
Let her
sure.
finish her
as a-
testimony. I'll
as a
give you a chance to
husband.
respond.
as a husband and as a father, if we were going to work together and do things. And like I said, it was something that I was bearing on me by myself alone. And he didn't care about it. So I just got tired.
But he's raising the children.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you just leave the children with him?
There was something that happened.
That's
you
what
know,
she did,
I was
she-
forced to leave my home.
Nobody forced her to leave. When she left me, Your Honor, and left the kids and walked out, Your Honor, I was on our city bus in the freezing cold with my 2 kids.
I did the
going
same.
to all my kids' their appointments they had to go to. I was making sure that me and my kids had what we needed, Your Honor, because I didn't have anything.
And so listen, and that is commendable. It really is. But it's also what a parent does.
Yes, Your Honor, you're absolutely right.
Get it done.
Yes, Your Honor. Whatever she calls her eloping or whatever she calls herself doing, I don't know what she does. She has these spurts and these moments where she feels that if we get into an argument, it's okay for her to stay out all night or to stay gone for a week.
Do you leave the house, Ms. Dalton?
That's happened one time when
It's happened more than once, Your
the
Honor.
last altercation that we had when we were gone for the 7 months. That's when that happened. I couldn't deal with it.
When there was an issue,
Yes, I
you
did
admit
leave.
you left.
Yes, Your Honor.
But did you run into the arms of another man
No,
when
Your
you left?
Honor.
You didn't?
Yes,
No,
you did,
Your Honor.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
I was living with my sister.
So
Your
during
Honor.
the time,
With a man
during
that
the
was sitting
time
over there
you
with her
all were
every day.
together, you were in your relationship, did you sleep with another man?
In the beginning, yes. But since we've been married, no.
She was just with another man, Your Honor, so we're still married. I don't
And
know.
we were separated, and we both agreed on the separation.
Honor.
We weren't together. We were going to move on
Your
with
Honor, I
our
don't talk
lives.
to her, so I
We
don't
were
know
going to
how we
move on
agreed
with our
the
lives with
separation.
divorce.
I never talked to her. She got this party wild.
I don't
girl
party,
in.
Your Honor.
And
I
that's
don't go
what she
out to
wanted
the
do.
club, Your Honor. I don't
Your Honor,
go
that's
out
what she does.
and party or do any of that.
Your Honor, we was in a different city, Your Honor. I moved to the city where her mother and her sister were staying, because she can be her mother and sister help her, and she was being close to her mother. I didn't have no family where she was staying. It was about an hour away from where I'm originally from. You know, she get down here and got all her little friends down here, and you know, every day she leave me with the kids, because I guess she told me she works, she do this, she do that. She wanted to be able to have fun. She wanted to be able to do something for herself because she's so young. You know, that's what she keeps using as an excuse. She's young.
I don't party.
She's young, so she wants to be able to get out and be able to do what she want to do.
And I did notice in the court papers that you are 37.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Dalton is 21.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been married?
2 years.
2 years.
So you got married when you were 19?
Correct.
I'd like to first examine, Mr. Mitchell, the doubt, because you say when she leaves you with the 2 boys.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't even know if they're your biological children.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your doubt based on, specifically, for each child? So let's start with Deshaun.
When I met her off of Facebook, Your Honor. She was already staying with another guy, Your Honor. I didn't know at the time. I happened to end up finding out once we was over my sister's house, and, you know, some guy calls her phone, Your Honor. So when the guy calls her phone, I'm like, you know, who is that? It's her cousin. That's what she says, it's my cousin. You know, so when I said, okay, well, we'll call your cousin back, because the way she was talking to her demeanor, it seemed funny. And like I said, I'm much older than her, so like I said, I done been there and done that, you know, trying to run these little game on me. I asked her to call him back. Once she calls him back, he talking about they been having sex and he ain't been using condoms, and she may be pregnant. This what he's saying, Your Honor.
There was never
You
a
spoke
time.
to him?
There was never a time, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke to him. I made her call him back, and I spoke to him.
He spoke to him, Your Honor, but that was not even the conversation that was being held. Me and the guy were
That was
not
the
sleeping. Me and the
conversation.
guy haven't been sleeping together for a whole month after me
Your
and
Honor,
Deshaun had started talking, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said during this time you had this phone call.
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe she was sleeping with this man?
Yes, Your
Also with you, this is when Deshaun was conceived.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did this man say to you, I could be the father?
He said it's a possibility that she's pregnant. That's what he said.
Wait, was this before or after you knew she was pregnant?
This before I even knew.
Really?
Yes,
So you
Your
get
Honor.
on the phone with this man and he tells you that your girlfriend may be pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor. But at the time, I don't think he even knew that I was even messing with Destiny. She was talking to him and talking to me, being real conniving and being real sneaky. So he didn't know nothing about me, just like I didn't know nothing about him.
I didn't conceive until March. The last time I slept with this man was in January.
Mr. Mitchell, did you sign Deshaun's birth certificate when he was born?
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
Your Honor, I did.
You did?
Yes. I wanted to believe her, Your Honor. I really did.
He was there the whole pregnancy and the whole 9 in the delivery room and everything.
Was he expressing doubt to you?
No, he was not, and that's why it was so shocking to me that he even thought that.
And the baby's named after him?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell, what is this doubt based on?
Your Honor, it's the cheating that she's constantly been doing, Your Honor. It's been 3, maybe 4 guys that she done cheated on me with. Probably 3 since we've been married.
And then after Deshaun was born, you all obviously stayed together because not long after, you have another child.
Correct.
Before Bishop was born, which is my youngest son, before he was born, she was going around with some dude that she worked with.
So this is a different man from the one that told you she may be pregnant.
Yes, ma'am. Well, a friend of mine, Your Honor, actually works with her. So he was always saying she's flirtatious towards this in particular guy at her job, which she was working at a fast food restaurant. She'd come home and then she'd be like, you know, my job, they're taking us to the movies this weekend or something. Her job. And remind you, it's a fast food restaurant. And then
Never.
the following week, they're going to their job's taking her to amusement park. I'm like, golly, you know, their job doing all these great
Did
things
I ever
for
say
them.
that?
And then what ended up happening is she's going out to the movies with this guy and back and forth, and you know, and I'm just sitting here with the kids, Your Honor.
Were you out and about supposedly for
I
work,
went to
Ms.
the
Dalton?
movies one time, and this is after we had our son, Deshaun. I went out to the movies, yes, I did. He was doing what he was doing, and there was, like I said, there was things going back and forth. We weren't getting along. So, yes, I did cheat with the guy, and I'm not saying that I didn't.
Your Honor, I came home one day, Your Honor. This guy is sitting on my couch, Your Honor.
On your couch?
And she done made dinner or lunch, whatever you want to call it, for this guy.
You made
And
lunch for
yes, I did.
the new guy
Yes,
in
I
your
did.
house where
Yes,
you live
Your Honor.
with your husband?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. And he wasn't my husband at the time. We were, like I said, our relationship was real rocky. There was nothing where it was committed.
Your Honor,
You weren't married
Your Honor,
at
we
the
were
time?
staying
We're not
together,
married
Your
at
Honor.
the
I don't
time,
know
Your Honor.
how much committed do you get more than that. We're staying together.
But what were you doing, though? What were you doing?
I see that it makes you very emotional. Are you feeling offended, insulted that he thinks that the children aren't his, or is it just that the relationship, what are you feeling?
Around the time I conceived both of my kids, he was the only person that I slept with. The
Are you-
only
you're-
person
and you're
that
sure of
I'm,
that?
I'm positive.
Your Honor, can I say this, Your Honor? She just left, and when I say didn't give a care in the world, Your Honor, I'm seeing on her Facebook and her Instagram that this other guy that she's been sleeping with, how much she's so in love with him. and
Never
this
was
and
I
that.
saying I was in love
Your
with
Honor,
this guy.
She ain't did nothing.
And Your Honor, and he told me
Your
I
Honor,
put him
on her
through hell
Facebook
and
page,
back.
She ain't say nothing about her kids, how much she miss her kids, or I'm about to go do this for my kids, Your Honor. All the time I talk to her family, her cousins that she was staying with, this and that, Your Honor. She ain't never told her cousins one time, you know, take this $20 over here, or I'm gonna get him some diapers or get him some shoes or anything, Your Honor. She just been letting me do everything by myself, like I don't need help.
And Your Honor, I've took care of them for the whole time they've been on this earth living. He didn't work. He didn't contribute a dime to our household as far as anything with the
Yes, I did,
kids,
Your
food.
Honor. Yes,
Your
I
Honor,
did,
he
Your
did
Honor.
not.
Your
He
Honor,
did not, Your Honor. I worked 2 jobs to make sure that they were taken care of.
Your Honor.
And so are you saying, Ms. Dalton, that while he was gone, you handled it all? So
Even
while
when
you're
he
not
was
in the home,
present,
you
Your Honor.
expect him to handle it all?
What I'm saying is he want to sit here and throw in my face what you did.
No,
I
no.
mean, you done it for 7
Your Honor,
months.
Your Honor.
And half of the time, you act like you were doing it on your own. Your family was helping. I didn't
Your
have
Honor,
that.
my
So,
family was
but
not
Ms.
helping you, Your
Dalton, he does have the children.
yes,
and
he
he
does.
does not know whether or not they are his children for certain, but we can at least say we know they are your children for certain.
Right.
Your
So
Honor.
is there a reason why you haven't been contributing and giving him some money in the
He
last
didn't want
7
me
months?
to, Your Honor. Every time he would say,
Your
you
Honor,
need
why
to
would
do
I
this
not
for the
want her
kids,
to,
you
Your
need to
Honor?
do that for the kids, and then it'll be like, oh, I don't need your money. My kid's good over here, and this and that. So I'm like, okay, fine. Since you want to tell me that
Your
they're
Honor,
good,
I don't
and they
need
don't,
her
and
money,
you don't
but-
want,
but-
and you don't
but
want me
these
to
is
do
your
anything,
kids. You
and you're
need to
going
help,
to
Your
throw
Honor.
something that I do in the trash.
I'm gonna make sure my
I'm not
kids is
gonna do
okay.
it.
What I want to understand now is you say you don't believe these children are yours. You can't be certain.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
what if one or both of these children are not your biological child? Then where do we go from here?
Well, I wouldn't want to split the kids apart, Your Honor. I would still be in the kid's life. I just need to know.
And if both children aren't yours, can this marriage survive?
No, Your Honor. No, it's no way it could, because too much deceiving, lying, and cheating. It couldn't survive. She don't want to listen. She don't know how to listen and sit down and communicate and talk.
While I empathize with your position, Mr. Mitchell, because I can only imagine what it would feel like to raise 2 beautiful young boys, but you constantly have a question as to whether or not they are your biological children. I'm sure that is difficult. You must have understood as a 35-year-old man, when you marry a 19-year-old, you're gonna have some growing pains in the marriage because she's still growing up.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think it's time for the results. Are we ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the case of Mitchell versus Dalton, pertaining to 1-year-old Bishop Mitchell, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Mitchell, you are Bishop's father. in the case of Mitchell versus Dalton pertaining to 2-year-old Deshaun Mitchell Jr. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Mitchell, you are Deshaun's father. I can see that smile is genuine. You're happy to know.
Yes, Your Honor, I am, and I appreciate it, Your Honor. It's just all the lies and stuff she put me through, Your Honor, and I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try to put this behind. If she really wants to go to counseling and really wants to try to make it work, I'm willing to do that, Your Honor.
Where do you want to go from here?
I wanted to work on our marriage. I
You
mean,
do.
I'm the one who suggested counseling.
Mrs. Cohen, you have opened your case to prove to your husband that he is the father of your 1-year-old son, Kyrie. You say your marriage is on the verge of divorce because Mr. Cohen chooses to deny your young son. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cohen, you say your wife brought another man into your home and had sex with him under your roof.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim your trust has been shattered and you're enduring the ultimate betrayal of not knowing whether or not Kyrie is your son. Today's DNA results will determine the fate of your marriage. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mrs. Cohen, what is the current status of your marriage?
Right now, I'm trying to save my marriage because we are on the verge of divorce. I want to prove to him that he is the father of our 1-year-old son. He's my high school sweetheart. We met in the 10th grade. We started dating. We've been together for 7 years, married for 3, and I just really want to prove to him and his family members that he is the father of our 1-year-old son.
What are you feeling right now?
I'm just hurt a lot because he makes it seem like I'm just the only one that's out here cheating when he's the one cheating too. Like, he made me feel like less of a woman when I had our 1-year-old son. I didn't feel pretty, and it just went from there.
All right. Mr. Cohen, you hear your wife is saying that you all have both pretty much destroyed the relationship together, but now this paternity question is taking it over the top. I see tears in your eyes.
Yes, Your
It
Honor.
matters to you.
Yes.
What are you feeling?
I'm just really hurt right now that we had to come this far to get these answers. And I have had lots of doubt about Kyrie, and it will really hurt if that does come back and he's not my child today. It will really hurt. And I love my wife, and I want us to be together forever, but I can't get past this if he's not my child today.
Is there a level of guilt you feel?
Yes, I do take blame of starting our bad marriage off. I wasn't ready to be a father or a husband to our oldest child, but I took the role and I tried as best as I can. I didn't look at my wife the same way after she had him, and I was young and I wanted to do everything my friends was doing. It wasn't the best choice, which led us here today.
I appreciate the honesty. I do. And I appreciate you taking responsibility because it takes 2 to get into a marriage and it takes 2 to get out. Mr. Cohen, how did you find out your wife was cheating?
In April, me and Jasmine, we broke up. We said we was gonna be done with each other for good. We were still living under the same roof in the same house. Going into May, we began to have sex again, all that good stuff. I went through Jasmine's phone one day after we got back together, and her phone was locked. She had a passcode on it. So I had to get in that phone. I said, okay, what can I do? I used all Jasmine's 10 fingers on her finger to unlock her iPhone.
How?
She had a lock on her phone with her finger. With her
Right,
thumb.
so how did you use her fingers?
She was asleep at the time, and I put her finger on the phone, and she continued to stay asleep.
Wow, all right.
Yes, so as I was going through the phone, I decided to check messages. I was checking phone logs, photos, everything. So I was like, oh, my wife's not cheating no more. We're about to be happy. I was about to lock the phone. Right when I was about to lock the phone, I opened up the notes in her phone, and I seen my name at the top. I was like, let me click on this note. Why is my name there? I clicked on the note, and there was 2 other names under my name. I instantly realized that was the people Jasmine had been intimate with because my name was first, which I took Jasmine's virginity, and there was another name under it of a guy who I knew she slept with while we was on a break. This was when we was younger. But then there was a third name. I knew nothing of that name. So I went straight to Instagram, typed in the name, and
You were busy. And you were doing this all in the middle of the night?
it wasn't even actually night, it was daytime.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Inspector Gadget. So then you go to Instagram, and what happens?
I went to Instagram, I typed in the guy's name, and his name popped up first. I clicked on that picture, and it was the guy. I went in his DMs.
How do you know it was the guy?
I went into his DMs, and I was like, you're having a baby, sir. And he replied back to me, acting like he knew exactly who I was. He was like, no, I only slept with her one time, and that's not my child. She told me nothing about her being pregnant or anything, and then he blocked me, so there was no father.
To be fair, I was already pregnant when I slept with him.
Mrs. Cohen, who was this other guy, and how did you end up cheating with him?
We were on a break. He went to go stay with one of his family members, and I had to do community service, and I met him at community service. And he was just telling me that I'm beautiful and all this other stuff.
That right there, I don't know. Was he doing that voluntarily? Or was he ordered to community service? There's a difference.
He was ordered, but I met him at community service, and when we took our lunch break, he came back to the house, and we had sex. But I was already pregnant, and he knew that I was already pregnant. We just broke up.
But we were not having sex, Your Honor, during our breakup, which was in April during her conception.
And I had sex with him in May, so that's impossible for him to be my child's father, okay? That don't even make sense.
So wait a minute, you took this guy you met at community service back to your marital home that you shared with your husband?
My
and
husband was
had sex with
cheating
him?
too, so to be fair, I was getting him back. That's all that was. He was cheating, and my husband has made me feel so low. Like, he's chosen females over me plenty of times. So it was my time to get back at him, so I was just doing what I wanted to do.
Was the sex unprotected?
With who?
With the community service guy.
Yes.
So, Mr. Cohen, soon after this incident, you find out your wife is pregnant.
Yes,
Take me to that day.
I wasn't happy at all, to be honest, because I wasn't ready to have another child, and we was already in a bad place. So during that time, that was when we were still broken up. I was in and out of the home, doing what I wanted to do with other people. A month or two later, we decided to get back together in the home. But also when she first became pregnant in April, we were not having sex. I don't remember us having sex at all.
Boy, we was having sex every day.
I do not remember us having sex at all.
We was having sex every day, like literally, like 2 times a day. Even when he got off work, even when he would get off work, like 6 o'clock in the morning, we was having sex.
That's not true because I was barely there.
No, he was probably too busy having sex with other females that he couldn't remember that he was having sex with me. That's probably what was going on.
But if your husband's testimony is correct and you weren't having sex in April because you all said you were on this break and Kyrie was born on January 5th, when you count back, January, 9 months, that goes back to the period of time when he says you weren't having sex.
But we were.
I do not remember us having sex, Your Honor.
You are funny.
I promise you I don't remember it.
So in addition to the timeline, Mr. Cohen, you claim you have medical proof.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a reason to doubt the paternity of Kyrie.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that?
I have type 2 diabetes, and I didn't have no insurance at the time, so it was uncontrolled, meaning my sugars were always high. So every time I would ejaculate, my semen would become weird, and it can't travel right.
So how I get pregnant, Corey?
Well, I was about to say, you all do have another child together, right?
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't have diabetes at the time.
So because of this is very interesting, I do want to call on a medical expert. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Eddie Richardson Jr. into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor. I go right up to the witness stand next to the judge.
Hello, Dr. Richardson.
Hello, Your Honor. How you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. I have a couple questions for you. We are speaking to the Cohen family about a paternity issue surrounding their 15-month-old son, Kyrie. Mr. Cohen has stated that he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which he believes prevented him from impregnating his wife. So can type 2 diabetes affect the sperm and its function, is my first question.
Two things come to mind immediately that affects the fertility of men is one, erectile dysfunction, where a man cannot have meaningful sex or sexual encounter, and two, the decrease in testosterone, which will definitely decrease the sperm count. Also, another part of that is there's decreased seminal fluid as well, which is kind of what Mr. Cohen is referring to caused by type 2 diabetes.
So when he says that he would experience, I guess, a thickening of the semen fluid, you say that is a reduction in the fluid. And does that affect the sperm's ability to fertilize an egg or travel?
Now, you gotta be a little bit careful because it only decreases by about 40%. So you still have a lot of sperm cells floating around, but it still should travel.
So in a case like Mr. Cohen's, where he admittedly was not on any medication, and he said his sugar was always high, can diabetes affect his ability to have a child?
Absolutely, that part is correct because there's a couple things that go in. Not only do you have the decreased sperm cell count, you also got to look at how long he had it, and I think it's been a couple years. You got to look at whether his blood sugar was controlled or not. That's going to affect how it works, and then how healthy he was leading up to it. But still, men that have decreased sperm cell count as well as diabetes are able to father a child.
All right, so the truth is, even though it's less likely than a healthy male, it is still possible.
Absolutely, because you know it only takes one sperm cell to fertilize eggs.
All right.
You hear that?
So after hearing this testimony, Mr. Cohen, do you feel differently about your paternity doubts?
She still slept with another man, so there's still doubt inside of me.
So, Ms. Cohen, have you remained in touch with this other man?
No. Why would I do that? That was nothing. I just want to prove to him and his family, because his family treats my baby completely different than our first child. Like, when I had him, they didn't post him on their Facebook. They didn't buy him nothing for his birthday. Like, they treat him different than my other son that we have together. I know that in their heart, they don't believe that this is their blood. So I just want to prove to them, really them. It's not more so him, because I already know who my baby daddy is. And I was in foster care up until I turned 18, and I signed myself out. So I really don't want my children to have that type of life, because we've been through so much. And I really applaud my husband for stepping up and being there for his kids and being a great husband, because he really is a great husband and a father.
And when you hear your wife speak, Mr. Cohen, why does that make you emotional? I see the tears in your eyes.
For her to say this today in court, it really made me happy to hear that, because I have heard deadbeat and all these other words previous times of argument, so it feels good.
You all are young people, and having a baby and becoming parents is one thing. Trying to navigate marriage is a different thing. So both of you have very serious issues that you need to talk about, or we'll end up here again. Mm-hmm. All right, I think we have had enough testimony. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Cohen versus Cohen, when it comes to 15-month-old Kyrie Cohen, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Cohen, you are the father.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Everybody can follow me. Be quiet.
You can stand with your wife, you can stand with your husband. I'll tell you, I mean, some of the best life lessons come from the hugest mistakes. That's just the way it goes. This should be an important lesson to you both. And it shouldn't take coming to paternity court to figure out how much you both mean to one another. So I don't want you to feel like just because you made huge mistakes in your marriage that it's over.
Right.
Or the chance to make it right is over. Because it's never too late for a brand new start.